So today we got to talk about Caleb Williams and him setting his decision date, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about Caleb Williams, who announced in his blog on Sports Illustrated that he has set his decision date for July 4th. And he's going to shoot off fireworks in the background and all that jazz. And this trend of commits happening on the 4th of July has absolutely no feelings about those of us that cover recording and also want to have the day off. That said, it's kind of been an open secret as to what Caleb Williams is going to choose. One, just take a look at all the crystal balls that have rolled in for him and how many of them say Oklahoma. But also because LSU and Maryland have basically made their plays for what they expect to happen for their 2021-2022 quarterbacks on the field. First, you had LSU take Garrett Nussmeier, that is the son of Doug Nussmeier, who is the quarterback's coach for the Dallas Cowboys and a former LSU offensive analyst. His kid's going to LSU, right? And Garrett Nussmeier is a tremendous talent and a tremendous person. You can listen to an interview that I had with him just after his commitment right here on this channel. And then for Maryland, you've seen them not only get a 2019 quarterback in Lance LeJean, Josh Jackson's coming back for another year, but now Talia Tagovailoa has joined the fold, and he will be a redshirt this year after having to sit out for the NCAA transfer rule and then be eligible to play in 2021, which is also the year in which Caleb Williams will be a true freshman. Now, add to this, Caleb Williams has been very vocal about wanting to cash in on his name, image, and likeness. And one of the reasons that Oklahoma's been at the forefront of this thing is because what better place is there to brand yourself as a quarterback than the University of Oklahoma? Lincoln Riley is 36-6 as a head coach. That is the best start in 3 years as a head coach to just like Walter Camp, who won 41 games in his first 3 years. And we're talking about the 1890s here. So era, and then you get to Walter Camp. But also because if you take a look at what he has done with quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield finished with Pro Football Focus's highest grade in 2017, 94.6. Kyler Murray finished with Pro Football Focus's highest grade in 2018, 94.6. And Jalen Hurts finished with Pro Football Focus's third highest grade at 91.4. Now, also add to that 2 Heisman Trophy winners in back-to-back years, 2 number 1 overall picks in back-to-back years, both quarterbacks, and then Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second round by the Philadelphia Eagles after a season in which he finished runner-up for the Heisman Trophy, passed for 3,800 yards and 2 yards shy of a 1,300-yard rushing season in his only year at the University of Oklahoma. If it sounds like this is an infomercial for Oklahoma, it's not. It's facts, right? And the idea that LSU would get a 4-star and a 5-star quarterback in the 2021 class is absolutely ridiculous because that's not how quarterback recruiting works. Because you can only play 1 quarterback at a time. And even when you try to have a 2-quarterback system, it doesn't go well. And then you're probably going to end up with one of those guys going in the portal anyway, on top of Max Johnson and others who are already on campus right now, or as such as it were, on the roster enrolled in school, that are a year ahead of Garrett Nussmeier and, of course, Caleb Williams. Locksley and Maryland have been recruiting their butts off, but Maryland's still a trash football product on the field, and we all know it. LSU's coming off the 15-0 national championship season and looking to defend, but again, they just took a quarterback in April. His name is Garrett Nussmeier. The only one that is really pining for a quarterback and needs a quarterback in the worst way in the 21 class of the 3 that Caleb Williams is considering is Oklahoma. And because Lincoln Riley struck out on Bryce Young in 2020 and because he got Spencer Rattler in 2019, the odd years at Oklahoma have become the most important years for quarterback recruiting, and he can't afford to strike out on a Caleb Williams, so he has been very, 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 very interested in getting Williams, if for no other reason than the guy that he thought he had, Brock Vandagriff, who is also a 5-star quarterback, but is also rated a little bit lower than Williams, decided to reopen his recruitment on January 1st, New Year's Day. I remember because I had to cover this, and then commit to Georgia 3 weeks later after saying, look, Oklahoma's a little too far away from home. He's from Georgia. He goes to Prince Avenue Christian. He's going to go down the road to Sanford and play. Now, Georgia's quarterback room is going to be a lot more interesting because JT Daniels and Jamie Newman both join as transfers. JT Daniels may have to sit out this season, which would mean that He's in a 3-4 horse race to be the starting quarterback in 21 with Dwan Mathis, Carson Beck, and Brock Vandegrift, even as we would expect Vandegrift to be the redshirt freshman of those group. And Beck and JT Daniels have to go head up. At Oklahoma, it's really Chandler Morris and then Spencer Rattler, and we'll see what happens with Tanner Mordecai. He may enter the transfer portal at the end of the season or before the season, depending on how this quarterback derby goes. But we are all betting on Spencer Rattler, and we're giving him the Heisman odds. And we're also betting on Lincoln Riley and what he's been able to do with quarterbacks. Adding back into this the name, image, and likeness deal, of the most popular players, according to Axios, who could make some money, Sam Ehlinger stands to make the most. This after Jamar Chase is returning as the Biletnikoff Award winner. And you got number one recruits like Cade Cunningham, who may or may not still be going to Oklahoma State after the sanctions that were put on them with the postseason ban. You could see Spencer Rattler making more money than anybody on a list of guys that might have made some money this year if name, image, and likeness went into effect this year. But since it goes into effect in 21, Williams probably will be the best candidate to take advantage of it when we first see what it looks like. And his father, Carl, has been very clear about that's one of the reasons LSU and Oklahoma are on the list. Maryland being the place where he's from. He goes to school at Gonzaga College Prep in Washington, D.C., means that we're still going to wait and see what happens there, but I can't see it any other way, man. I don't think that anybody else could see it any other way if they're being rational about this. It's not an Oklahoma thing. It's just a recruiting thing. And wanting to take advantage of the 4th of July holiday to make your decision is cool because at least you're making your decision. And he always said that he wanted to make his decision before his senior season began. A word, though, on recruiting and the folks that are getting in on it and out of it. My buddy Steve points out that, he swore off recruiting after Nick Saban came in to steal Jace McClellan in the middle of the night before early signing period, to which I go, Latrell McCutcheon reopened his recruitment in March, and he feels like an Oklahoma lead, and he was the first guy to commit to Alabama's 2021 class, and now he feels like he could be headed to Oklahoma. But this is on top of really what has been underwhelming for Oklahoma outside of guys like Mario Williams and Clayton Smith. Danny Stutzman's a 3-star linebacker out of Florida. He's not really moving the needle. Another guy that's not necessarily moving the needle is Isaiah Coe. He is a junior college defensive tackle and rated in the top 10 according to the 247 Sports Composite. But it feels like Oklahoma wanted to trade up and go get Kelvin Gilliam, and they still might. That's still on the table, along with Marcus Burris and some others. And then you add into there guys like Jordan Mooks, who has tremendous upside at 6'4", 200 pounds. He could be an outstanding safety. But it's really difficult to move the needle in recruiting if you're not getting high-value 5-star guys. It's one of the reasons why we've been paying close attention to what Ohio State has been doing with 18 commits in the boat and challenging for the highest-ranked recruiting class in the history of the rankings era. Been paying attention to what North Carolina has done. Clemson, as of late, picking up Troy Stellato, and Will Shipley in back-to-back months. It's been huge. USC is charging up. I'm saying that if you're going with the stock market, yeah, you're going to be very, very upset day to day. But if you follow recruiting like I do stock market and you're just going, it's going to do what it's going to do and just follow the story and put your money where you expect it to be making you some money down the line, then you're going to be okay. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.